Hi there, I'm Stephanie Thomas. I'm a clinical social worker with Integrated Neuropsychological Services located in Fayetteville, Arkansas. We have compiled some information for our clients that we'd like to disseminate through this video, and we are calling it COVID Care 101. So there's no doubt that the COVID-19 stay-at-home orders and the requirements to practice social distancing have thrown our lives into chaos and uncertainty. Many of us are feeling universal fatigue, and it is more important now than ever that we practice self-care. So here are a few evidence-based strategies that I hope will help in reducing any stress or anxiety that you might be feeling during this time. So I think the first thing to sort of recognize is that there is so much about this situation that we don't have control over, but what we do have control over is our thoughts and our actions. So what we think, what perspective we take, our attitude, and certainly what we do with our time each and every day. So to begin with, I think it's important to maintain a consistent daily routine. It's important to maintain structure and routine in our daily lives because it gives us a greater sense of purpose and accomplishment and can help us from feeling overwhelmed and helpless. And in that daily routine, I think it's very important that we build in time to exercise. As we know, exercise can be, of course, it's good for our physical health, but it can be and is very, very important in our mental health. Really avoid kind of staying in and staying sedentary all day. Finding ways to involve our kids if we've got kids at home can be helpful for the whole family, of course. But finding some way to move your body, and that may just be taking a walk, around the neighborhood, gardening if you have a yard. The ways are really endless. We don't have access to gyms and that sort of thing right now, but certainly moving in some way. There are also quite a few videos online that we can access that can help all different levels of exercisers stay active. The next thing that I think is really important to point out is the importance of staying connected to other people. As social beings, we are hardwired to need connection in our lives. It's very important during this time of isolation that we stay connected to our family and friends. Make time every single day to reach out and to connect with folks, especially people that that might be living alone. So keep in mind that social distancing does not mean social isolation. I can't stress this point enough. The importance, especially if we're beginning to feel depressed or hopeless, to really reach out, talk to somebody, find somebody to connect with. Okay. The next thing I want to recommend is that we all really kind of limit the time that we spend watching the news. There's a lot of bad news out there, a lot of things that kind of leave us feeling hopeless or helpless. Of course, it's important to stay up on the latest information. I think that this situation is pretty fluid. There are a lot of recommendations that we're being given about how to stay safe. So very important to stay connected to that, to stay on top of that information, but really avoid spending a lot of time just watching the same bad news over and over again. The next point I want to make is how important it is that we find ways to laugh and tap into humor. We know that laughter is a well-documented experience. It improves mood, it helps the brain, regulates stress hormones. So there's no question that there is this incredible benefit that we get from laughing. So reach out and connect with people that are uplifting. Watch funny movies, read a funny book, find funny videos. Lloyd Byron once said, "Always laugh when you can, it's cheap medicine." So, find ways to laugh. The next point I want to make is something that not a lot of people necessarily may automatically think about, but looking for opportunities to help others. So even though we might be feeling, at times really down, or feeling as if we there's not much that we can do to affect change, this is a great time to really kind of tap into the benefit of doing for others. It helps get us out of that sort of kind of negative down mindset, because we're focusing on doing something to help somebody else. So it can really kind of kickstart sort of an uplifting feeling. So there are a lot of opportunities right now through the United Way and Red Cross. So check out your United Way or Red Cross agencies in your local communities and see how you might be able to help. And I know that they're really taking lots of precautions to make sure that people are safe in whatever work that is that they're doing. And I think primarily it's having to do with distributing food to people that don't have access to food, or the elderly who can't go to get food. So taking action when we feel like we don't have control is something that can give us a great sense of purpose and increase our sense of well-being and peace. The last thing that I want to emphasize is the importance of expressing gratitude. I think that this should be something that I think is important no matter what we're going through, the good times and the bad times. But I think that particularly now, finding things that we can be grateful for can be enormously beneficial for our mood and sense of well-being. When we can feel and express gratitude, we reduce feelings of helplessness and we maintain a sense of hopefulness. I think if you have children at home, family members at home, encourage them to find things to be grateful for, stay connected to those things, express those things. There's a quote I want to share with you. It reads, "Gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It turns what we have into enough and more. It turns denial into acceptance, chaos to order, confusion to clarity. It can turn a meal into a feast, a house into a home, a stranger into a friend." So find ways to be grateful for what we have, and that's a good place to generally live. I hope that this information has been useful, and I encourage all of you to stay safe, be well, and stay connected. Thank you.